Thanks for coming to hear the Quord on the Street. I am your Acorn host, Vince, and with me I've got my brush host, Josh. Every week we will be choosing one of 28 words which were generated from the puzzle game Quordle and talking about whatever the hell we can based on those words. Hey Josh, what's Quordle?
Vince, Wordle is a once a day game where players have 6 attempts to guess a 5 letter word. Feedback is given with each attempt in the form of colored tiles to indicate the letters and whether or not they are in the correct spot and if they are in the word. Quordle's the same thing, but you're doing 4 of them at the same time. And that's where we get our 28 words from.
That's right. And today we are choosing words from the week beginning April 10th and ending April 16th. You can see what those words are over on our Instagram at Quord on the Street. And with that, we'll get right into the episode. So, Josh, what is your word today?
The word that I brought today is going to be trend. The word was kind of interesting to me, especially with like social media and how everything goes about now. So I know you're not much of a social media advocate or anybody that uses it frequently other than for a Quord on the Street or your specific things to do with the books that you enjoy, but I use TikTok quite a lot. And that really is what made me think of trend. So TikTok is basically a platform based around those. Somebody will start either a really catchy piece of music and a dance to it, or just a really funny quote from a movie that they'll cut the audio for and voice lip sync to it doing a scene. And everything on the platform is kind of like, you pick some kind of trending topic and something tied to something, and that's how people gain exposure. And it's opened up a ton for the music industry.
Yeah, I mean, I never really got into it, but I recently got COVID, as you know,
Yep.
and I had the just like consummate 2021 experience here in 2022. I watched Squid Game. I stayed by myself for about 5 days and doom scrolled through TikTok. And, it's one of those things that, like, the second or third day that I used it, it sort of started clicking for me why people use it. It figured out that I really like emo TikTok.
It has the best algorithm of any social media platform, I swear.
I mean, yeah, just watching the videos of people going through their high school yearbooks from like 2006 or 2008 and just seeing all the scene haircuts, it just really gets
So
me.
I'm sure you've seen the trend of the it's not a scene, it's not a phase, it's a lifestyle.
Oof, yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
or the guy in the black eyeliner that sings the secondhand serenade song. Uh,
I love that sound so
it's
much.
so good. But that's the whole platform, like in itself. But the people have started doing these open verse challenges. So it kind of started with like, I would say, lower tier artists, and was kind of like
Mhm.
medium popular. But then we saw a lot of like bigger name people start to pick it up. Um, so like Megan Trainor did one. This was back in 2021, before it really became like popular. But she did one for like one of her songs. And that's kind of where I first saw my first interaction with him. I have, funny enough, a friend that I met from TikTok who is a rap artist and he lives in Long Island. And it's just somebody I
Mhm.
found and I really liked and commented on his stuff. He started streaming on Twitch. I went in there, was hanging out in his Twitch chat, started playing games with him, and then like all of 2021 during COVID and that we gamed like really heavily. since he couldn't do shows and wasn't as active. But he did the response to Megan Trainor's like open verse thing, and she liked it so much that she stitched it, which is like their version of, you know, their live reaction of them watching the video, and posted it on her page. So like that got tons of exposure for him. But you have somebody's like a huge industry person, you know, giving credibility to somebody that didn't have it previously. And not just that he didn't have credibility within it, but just not on that level of somebody that has already made their way through the trenches and has had a label deal and that style of thing. So that happened in 2021. Yeah. But now we're seeing like it be super popular within like more mainstream artists. So we have, I don't know if you know who Russ is or not, but he's a pretty prevalent, I would say, hip hop and R&B artist. Mm-hmm. And he's done 2 open verse challenges. The first one was for his song Remember Me. And he had this girl named Haley Knox. She did a open verse challenge for him, and it blew up all over TikTok. Like people just loved it. It got tons of traction, so much that he saw it and he responded to it, and it just kept, people wanted it to the point where he got a hold of her and they released the track on Spotify, Apple Music, you know, all the streaming platforms. She is featured on the remix. So that happened. Now fast forward a few months, and he did another open verse for his song Handsomer. And this other female rapper named Caitlyn did a response to it with her verse. And the same thing happened, except this time it was like really, really explosive, where people like were begging for it. And he did the same thing, and it charted all the way up to like number 8 in plays the day that it came out.
Wow.
So I have like his stats pulled up. Okay, and this came out maybe a month ago. The Handsomer remix featuring Caitlyn already has 900,036 plays just on Spotify. So like I can only imagine across all platforms what it has. And that girl went from having, you know, nowhere near the amount of exposure to huge amounts. You know, her social media grew. People are asking when all of her music is coming out. And now just 2 weeks ago, he announced his The Journey is Everything World Tour. So he's touring North America, Europe, India, Asia, Australia, New Zealand, South America, Africa. And he is bringing Caitlyn to all of the North America shows to perform with him.
Damn.
So like you go from just being at home, making a response to this open verse challenge for an artist that you look up to and you enjoy their music, and you throw your spin on it, and you go from just having some fun doing it to going on tour with them in a matter of 2 months. You know, they basically just, you skip the whole needing to have an industry, you know, lead. You need to have somebody to introduce you to labels. You need to create the buzz where labels want to bring you in and talk. Like, you're getting your credibility from artists, and it's like the first time I think we've seen that much of a direct line to artists themselves.
Yeah. I mean, isn't this sort of the avenue that Lil Nas X took, just doing Twitter though?
Yeah, exactly. He popped off from Twitter. The same thing. So now this is just, but I almost give him more credit because that platform wasn't even designed for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's way harder to get the engagement on Twitter, I would say, than it is on TikTok, because
I
TikTok
gotcha.
really gives it plays into people's need for instant gratification.
Hmm.
You know, you something that doesn't grab your
My
attention in the first 2 seconds, you swipe right by,
Yeah, right.
and there's just an
My
endless feed
big
of more.
my big question with these open verse challenges though is when is the Space Jam DVD guy gonna get his his record deal? I want him to go on
I
tour. I
mean,
want to see a whole 1 hour Space Jam DVD set.
it's possible. You never know. And I would say the most recent one too. So you know who Logic is.
Oh yeah.
He did an open verse challenge for one of his songs. This was probably a month ago. It started. He got a ton of submissions, obviously, because he is like a huge artist,
Yeah.
and he liked this kid's verse so much. The guy is Jay Zoll. He's a rapper out of Minnesota, and he flew him to Miami to perform his verse on stage with him. So there's a video clip of Logic having the guy come out, and he's like, I flew him all the way up from Minnesota, trying to do his Minnesota accent, and he has him just
Yeah.
come up and do the his verse for him within that song, and he gave him this huge like chain and let the guy keep it. It's just those are just experiences that nobody was going to get prior to this app and this kind of trendy thing, and it's so fascinating to me, the avenues and the doors that it opens for smaller independent artists. Like, they really have opportunities that would have never been before, just because it's so easy for things to get traction and be seen by the people that matter. Because
Yeah. I
the
hear
same
you.
way, like you said, like you fell into the TikTok thing. you know People hire companies and teams to manage their Facebook accounts and their Instagram accounts and their Snapchats, but like, these artists and celebrities are using TikTok for the same kind of entertainment that we are. So it just blows my mind that we're able to see this happen and unfold
Yeah.
in front of us, and I think it really opens some really cool opportunities, and I can't wait to see where it goes. But
Yeah, that's funny because like I don't know. I don't know. I think just it's just the way that I engage with social media up until this point is like fundamentally different than how everybody else does it. Because as soon as I see just like a band or an artist posting something, like I'm scrolling by. I don't give two hoots about it. But that's I don't know. That's just me.
yeah,
I'm on there. I'm on there to see what other people are doing, regardless of what those particular folks are on about at any given point in time.
yeah, I would say, I'm I think that just falls in like different perspective. Like, for me, like, I don't watch or look for like the celebrities stuff. I'm not
Hmm.
really following, like, I don't follow Logic or Russ on the TikTok itself, but
Right.
I do enjoy seeing these other artists perform. It's kind of, I guess it probably falls into like singing shows like American Idol and stuff like that. They're like my guilty pleasure. So like, seeing what other people
Yeah.
can do is like mesmerizing to me. So I'm hooked. It's just, you go from somebody that you wouldn't expect to be able to do something that just blow your mind away with how talented they are. And
You know. You know what I want like the the wacky stuff though. Like I think that's what it is. Like you said, it's got the best algorithm, right?
mhm.
So TikTok really clocked that. That's not what I'm into. Like I'm looking for the next "Hey, your boy got his free taco" video.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I want I want I want Vine back. is what I want. I want people to, because Vine made people funny. I think
Yeah, it did.
that's my conclusion in these recent years is Vine made people funny because people don't know where the punchline to a joke is.
Yeah, it forced them to figure out how to be funny in a shorter period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So now with TikTok, like I saw this one video of this girl like taking a plate out of a microwave and she put like Michael Jackson sounds to it. So she takes the plate out and goes, ooh, and like that is funny as shit.
Yeah.
But then she just kept going. And it's like, okay. This went on about 6 seconds too long.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny you bring that up. There's a trend going on now where this girl is like in the video, she's like doing something in a room and she falls over backwards and she hits her back on her bedpost. Have you seen that one?
I've seen this
and she
one.
goes, oh, and she makes that, and everybody is literally cutting that into. Oh, I love it. That stuff makes me smile.
What's funny about me knowing about TikTok things is I usually know about them from Reddit.
Yeah, I could see that. But I'm glad that I know that you use it because I never send things to people that I don't think use the platform. You know, so I find things on there and I'm like, I mean, I think I've sent you a few, but like, there's definitely a lot of stuff that I think you think was funny, but at the time, it would have to be really funny for me to think that I wanted to convince you to open it.
I also like that's the other thing I like about TikTok. It doesn't absolutely force you to use the app.
No.
Like you can open it in a browser if you really wanted to, and it works just fine.
Yeah.
But that's just the new hotness.
Yep.
And that ain't what we are. You know what we are, Josh?
Grown.
We are hey.
You asked me the question.
Steal my thunder. You're supposed to go, oh, what are we, Vinny? Well, that's a great question, Josh. We are grown. And that's what my word is.
Are you sure we're grown or are we just acting?
Hey, who's to say? I'm not the authority on who's grown and who isn't. Maybe except for myself. Because it's a kind of weird thing. When are we grown up? What makes us grown up? Struggling to come up with a topic this week, but I really ended up bringing something pretty deep here, because what does it mean? Like, what age did you feel grown up, Josh? I kind of have a loose answer, but I want to sort of get a sense of what it was for you that made you feel grown up.
I don't think there was a specific age for me. So, and I still don't. I think for me it's a situational thing. So, I mean, I definitely know I've grown as a person, like how I see society and how I react to things and how I take in everything that happens around me and interpret it. But mentally, like, I still feel like I'm 18. Like, a lot of the time, I just know I'm not. There's things like that excite me that didn't excite me at all when I was younger. Like, I got a new washing machine and I was so pumped for that because I'm like,
oh hell yeah,
this one is better. It's more energy efficient. It uses less water. It has a spot for me to put the liquid softener inside of the washing machine. Like, it has all the bells and whistles, and I was so excited for that. Or like, I went through the phase where like I wanted to learn more about cooking, and like the minute that you find yourself in an entire store dedicated to kitchenware, and you're excited to walk out with a wok and like a giant like 17-inch in diameter frying pan that you'd see at like a
Oh yeah.
restaurant. That's when you know you're grown. You're like, I didn't used to get excited when my stocking was full of socks when I was younger, but now I can't wait.
Honestly, though, those are the best experiences. Like the satisfaction that you get from getting like
Trivial
an
gifts.
appliance
Yeah.
is better than the excitement of a snow day when I was younger.
Yeah.
My brother, speaking of going to a kitchen store, my brother went to like a restaurant supply store
Are you talking about
and
Fleahan?
no, I don't know where it was, but it was like out of state or something like that. They were on vacation and he went to this restaurant supply store and he got like one of the giant salad mixing bowls that they have like in the back of a diner
Mm-hmm.
to mix like five salads, five single servings of salad at once. He was excited about that. And he also got this sheet pan that was just enormous. And he was so excited. Got it home. Doesn't fit in their oven.
That's the best. That's my favorite thing is like I now have this frying pan and it's so hard
Yeah.
to wash because it doesn't fit in my sink. Like not well.
Yeah.
I have two of those bowls, by the way, that you're talking about, those big salad bowls. I have two of those. I also have a 16-inch chef knife.
Hell yeah.
Like I have a cutting board that is 3 foot by 2 foot.
Wow. How thick? That's the important part.
It's I don't know, probably 1/4 inch.
Oh, okay.
It's like a
You get
polymer plastic or something.
okay.
It's
Yeah,
like
sure.
one of the I don't know if you've ever seen the cutting boards that are on like the industrial like subunits, like on the front of the subunit where
Yeah.
like in front of where you keep all the meat and everything with the flip up lids. There's that white like
Yep.
thick.
Yep.
It's that same material.
All right. I can appreciate that.
So like I have that, and the only place I can keep it is like in between where the cabinets and the fridge meet because it won't fit in any cabinet.
Yeah.
But like just getting those things, or like finding a candle scent that you really enjoy,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, oh man, this one's for me. Like this is the one I can burn all the time, or like a
Yeah.
soap that you really like.
All right. So I guess my question now is answer in less than 1 second. No thought. What age do you feel like you are right now? Too long.
Okay.
Like if somebody held a gun to your head and was like, how old are you?
21.
What are you saying? Yeah?
Yeah. Because
That's interesting.
I feel old enough to make all my own decisions and to drink and to do everything that society time gates you from doing. Like I feel like I have the experiences and everything that make me feel at least that age, but I don't feel like I've gotten any older from that. Now, like I know mentally I've grown from that, and like I'm not the same person I was when I'm 21, especially like how I act. But
Yeah.
I still feel like a 21-year-old kid at heart.
That's interesting. I know that there's this concept. I don't know what it's called, or I think I read like, or maybe like read a summary of a paper on it once, but there's this concept that you basically think you are like whatever age was your last, I don't know, major life event. I'm wondering if maybe that, I mean, you moved to North Carolina and back since you were 21.
Yeah, I moved.
So it's interesting that that's your thought now.
Yeah, I moved to North Carolina when I was 25.
Mm-hmm.
But
You stayed down there a few years.
yeah, just shy of 5 years.
Yeah. It's funny that that you say that because like I feel like I mean it's been 2 years, but I think my answer now is 30.
Yeah.
Like, we turned 30 in 2020. So I don't know if it was, the events of 2020 that really solidified that time in my life, or, I started a big new hobby, woodworking, that year. So maybe it's that, but I am feeling pretty close to my age and pretty good about it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say we're kind of on different tracks too. So like, you know,
Hmm.
we're the same age, but you have a house, you're married, like you're settled down with your 5 cats, and like you have more of that settled in life going on where like I don't have anything
Yeah.
holding me where I'm at. Like, yeah, I have a job and my family's here. But if I decided tomorrow
Hmm.
that I wanted to pick up and go to California, I could.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah, I
feel like
think this
that
is
probably has a lot to do with like feeling the same
maybe,
age.
yeah. I don't know. It's just an interesting topic because it has to do with perception. So sort of nail it down a little bit more. You were talking about buying appliances or getting like weird things, but what to you is like an experience or something that just feels better or more
Haircut.
interesting than really?
Yeah. I love, and I think it probably has to do with how I like go about getting haircuts. And it started when I was in North Carolina, but like growing up, a haircut was just a haircut to me. But that's because I
Hmm.
always went to like, your traditional quick little barber shop, you know, not even really a barber shop, just like a haircut place, like a super cuts kind of deal, or, nothing crazy. And then when I was
Yeah.
living down there, one of the clients where I worked, she owned her own barber shop, and she was a master barber for like 13 years at that point. So I started going to her, and it's like having that experience of like sitting there, getting the hot towel on your face and exfoliating like all the stuff on your skin, and then them giving you your haircut and straight razoring your face, moisturizing it, and like just getting everything going, and then you massage your shoulders. Like, it's worth the extra money to me. Like, I get out of the chair feeling so relaxed.
Yeah,
And
you're getting like the whole experience.
yeah, and I had to find the same thing up here. I was like, I can't go back to not having that. Like, I need the straight razor
Yeah.
shave. I need that style thing. Plus, the barber's really kind of like a therapist. It's like that the person that over time, but you don't really know, and you're just somebody that you could talk to, and like they want to talk because your whole time goes by way faster if they can
Yeah.
just talk to you.
Yeah. You know what's funny is I think I'm having a similar but like markedly different experience with haircuts lately. Like, I always had, like my father's haircut or barber, and he was great. Yeah, he did a good job, but it was just like, get in, get out. He had like, you know, he was cutting 100 people's hair a day or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was just quick, get in, get out. And I kind of had that again when I came out here. It's funny how people find their barbers like in new areas because like I was in a bowling league and this one lady like worked at had a chair at one of the barber shops around here, so I just started going to her. She was nice enough. So I figured, could talk to her, but I don't know. I was never really crazy about it. So I decided try a new place. Just recently. I've only gone to this guy like twice now. But it's appointment, which I feel like is a big plus in a barber because they know they have this amount of time
Mm-hmm.
that they can take. And this guy just sort of like takes his time, he he chit chats, which I've never really done before.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't do like the full service, the hot towel and all that, but you know, it's it's kind of neat to have that sort of different experience. So yeah, I totally get where you're coming from.
Well, you're paying for the experience too, and which is a lot of things I don't people think they don't realize is they just see it as like the haircut. Like, oh, I can get the same haircut from Supercuts. One, no, you can't. Like somebody that's been a
No.
master barber for 10 to 15 years at this point knows more about people's hair and the difference in how
Mhm.
people's hair grow than somebody that just works at like a Supercuts or something. I mean, it just comes with the experience, as does every industry. But
Yeah. I mean, I've always went to barbers. I went to a Supercuts once. They mangled my
oh
hair.
yeah, but I mean, just I think you get a different, like you said, with the appointment style stuff, you get a different feeling when that person also isn't rushing to go through to
Hmm.
try to make more money. It's like you go to a place like Supercuts, they want to get the next person in the chair.
Yeah. I think that was the big game changer for me is actually making an appointment.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, you've only been to this person twice, but you'll see over time, like you start to build rapport with them. And like I talk with my barber when I go and about his fiance's business that she's doing, and he just had a baby. We talk about how the baby's doing, and he just went back overseas to go see some of his family. They were going on like a cruise with his family and his
Hmm.
wife's family, like all these different things. Like he becomes a once a month or once every 2 week friend that you can have that conversation with. I don't know. It's just an enjoyable experience that when I was a kid, I was like, ugh, I don't want to waste my time.
Yeah, I hear you.
And now I go at 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturdays when I go. And when I was a kid, you couldn't catch me getting up for a haircut at 7 a.m. Now I do it willingly.
Yeah, you couldn't catch me getting up for any appointment at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
All my appointments are at 11. 11 or later.
Still now?
Not. Oh yeah. Yeah. I make them that way. I mean, I make all my appointments on my days off. So
yeah.
if I'm given the choice, why would I choose?
For
Like
me,
I'm
I
not a
feel like
morning
if
person.
I've become one, but here's my thing. If I don't schedule it early, I won't do it.
Really?
Yeah, like if I give myself, because I can't sleep in till that time. So like if I give myself a chance to get up and like lounge around for a while beforehand, I have no motivation to leave. But like if I wake up and I know what I have to do for the day and I can start out by going to do it, like I do all of my cleaning early in the morning, all the any dishes or laundry, anything that needs to be done on my days off gets done early. Because if not,
No,
once I plop
that ain't
down at the
me.
computer, I'm not getting back up to go do something like that. Very rarely.
Hmm. I guess I can see that, but I don't know. You know me. I got issues with sleeping. The only thing worse than falling asleep is waking up.
Yeah, that's true. I don't. I got an hour power nap in before we started this tonight, so we're
Yeah, yeah.
that's I'm blessed with that.
I guess so. For just real quick for me, I know we're maybe about to run long, but for me it was I mentioned it earlier, but it's woodworking. Like it's something my father always did when I was younger, he had a little shop down in our basement, and I don't know. I was just like,
Really?
oh man, this is boring.
How did I never
Yeah,
know that?
I don't know. It's in our family. My my that was my grandfather's profession.
Hmm. Yeah, I never
He
knew that.
like, yep, he built it. I think my father like built the garage in our at our house in Utica.
Hmm.
Uh, back when we lived there. But yeah, no, he does, you know, little projects. He's got a little. It's in the basement, so he can't make a ton of dust. He, can't make a ton of noise too often.
Yeah.
But he makes picture frames and stuff. And I don't know. It was just something that maybe it's the mentality that we were raised with, like our generation. The go to college, you don't want to work with your hands type of mentality that we were raised with. But now, like, it's something that's nice. Like, maybe it's that it's slow that really appeals to me. Like, things that are slow
No, and it's, you know what
are
it is?
really
It's the same
starting to appeal
reason
to
that
me.
like games like Dark Souls and stuff appeal to people.
Hmm.
It's the satisfaction of doing something that takes time and it paying off, because everything is instant
Yeah.
gratification. So when you find something that you can work towards and you enjoy the process as much as you enjoy the product,
Hmm.
I feel like that's when it clicks for people.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. You know, and it's also in the end, it's something that lasts. You know,
Yep.
like you have your nice plastic cutting board, and one day when I get the equipment, you'll have a nice wood cutting board for everything but meat.
Nope, I'm putting all the meat on it.
Nope, can't cut meat on wood cutting boards. I'll get into that at a later date when we have like cholera as a word or something.
Or things you don't do.
Things you don't do. Cut meat on wood cutting boards. That's a lesson for you. I'll take it to the bank.
Mm. See, not only are we witty, but we're also informative.
Hell yeah. And with that one piece of information, that's the end of the show. We'd like to we'd like to do our acknowledgments. Thank Josh Wardle, the creator of Wordle, and we'd like to thank Freddie Meyer, the creator of Quordle. At Quordle on Twitter, you can go ahead and give him a follow. And if you do Quordle every day, go ahead and buy him a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
You can follow us on our socials. We got a Twitter at Quord on the Street. That's Quord on the ST.
Or on Instagram at Quord on the Street, Quordon the Street.
The whole word.
Yeah.
Uh, YouTube, www.youtube.com. That was weird. /Quord on the Street. If you're listening to us over there, go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Actually, on any of the socials, on Instagram, you can see our weekly word list. Pick your favorite word. See if you can jog something in our minds that you want to hear us talking about. And on YouTube, go ahead and just write us a comment what you want us to know about from those words.
Yeah, or if you're listening to it on Apple Podcasts or a platform that allows it, give us a review. Let us know what you like about the show, things that you would change, or any kind of suggestions you might have. We'd love to hear any of that.
Absolutely. And finally, our personal Twitters are at V_C is me, and you spell out the underscore.
And for me, it's at I'm Scuzzy. It's IMSKUZZEY.
That's right. And, hopefully you can spread the word. and help us
Get the cord out.